morning, all of my YouTube family and my YouTube friends alike. I hope that you all are having a wonderful day. We are going to continue on in our ATI TEAS examination study guide series and start discussing the math portion of the exam. If you are new to my channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button that lets you know when I post new content on here and keeps you up to date on all things nursing. If you're an oldie but a goodie, make sure that you give me that big thumbs up, as well as leave me a comment down below with any questions you have or any concerns or maybe even topics that you want me to cover in the future. Let's get started. So to begin, while we're discussing the ATI TEAS math portion of the examination, we're going to start talking about basic operations. So what exactly are our basic operations? That is how we subtract, add, multiply, and divide whole numbers. And just a quick note, for those of you who have not taken the ATI, I have heard from many different sources that the ATI TEAS examination is no longer allowing their applicants to use calculators on the exam. So you need to understand how to do these basic operations by hand when you're taking the ATI TEAS. So we're going to start out with multiplication, and the best way for you to understand multiplication is to perform a multiplication table. So what does that mean? The ATI TEAS is going to require you to understand how to multiply from 1 to 12. That's kind of the basis of what they want you to understand. So the easiest way for you to do that is to write out a multiplication table. So you're going to write out this table that I provided you here on the slide to understand specifically how it is that you can multiply 1 through 12, as well as this table even help you divide. So if you have a hard time with long division or things of that nature, this will actually help you as well. So make sure that you study this table and you write it out when you take your ATI TEAS. It'll be a big lifesaver for the exam. So let's look at estimating and rounding whole numbers. So what exactly does that consist of? Estimating is an important skill that you need to understand for the ATI TEAS because you have to understand that rounding whole numbers is used to determine whether or not a calculation is wrong. So how do we do that? To begin, you have to understand place value. So for example, if you are required to round a whole number up to the 100th place, what exactly does that mean? You have to understand how to round these numbers. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example. So our example is 234,567. So when you're looking at this number in the expanded form, we're looking at 200,000 plus 30,000 plus 4,000 plus 500 plus 60 plus 7. So to break it down, starting from 7, working our way to the left, 7 is in the ones or the units place. It's closer to the decimal. 6 is in the tens place. 5 is in the hundreds place. 4 is in the thousands place. 3 is in the 10,000s place, and 2 is in the 100,000s place. Now this kind of makes sense when you read the numbers. So 234,567. So now that we understand estimating as well as place values, we need to understand how rounding works. So if you are rounding a number and the number next to it that you are rounding is either a 0, a 1, 2, 3, or 4, then you leave the place value that you're estimating alone and you simply just add zeros to all the digits on the right. So for example, 4,321 needs to be rounded in the nearest thousands place. The number next to the thousands place is 3. We leave the thousands place number alone and we simply just add our zeros. So that takes us from 4,321 to the rounded number of 4,000. So likewise, if the numbers to the right of the place value that you're rounding is either a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then you will round the number up. So another example, to round the number 789 to the nearest 100. The 100-digit place is 7. So we're looking at the number to the right. The number to the right is 8. We know that we're going to round that digit up. So our answer is going to be 800. Another important tip that you need to know for ATI TEAS, as well as being a healthcare professional, is that they use the metric system. It is important that you familiarize yourself with the metric system and metric units. If you are unsure specifically what the metric system is and how you perform operations based on that system, I want you to go ahead and click up on that link here in the corner where I go ahead and explain all of that for you, and hopefully this will be very, very easy for you in the future when it comes to nursing as well as your examinations. So moving on to the order of operations. Once you understand how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, we need to understand how to specifically perform order of operations. So an easy mnemonic to remember that is PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S. And what does that stand for? Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So let's go ahead and take a look at this example in regards to how the order of operations are performed. So let's simplify the expression. 5 times parentheses 2 plus 9. So to begin, we perform the operation of the parentheses because that is what falls in our mnemonic. That's the first thing is parentheses. So 2 plus 9 equals 11. Next, we perform the final operation of 5 times 11, which equals 55. That gives us our correct answer of 55. So now that we've seen a basic order of operations expression, here is another important tip for you to understand. Even though there are 6 letters in the word PEMDAS, there are only 4 steps in the order of operations. This is because multiplication and division are performed together at the same time, and addition and subtraction are also performed together at the same time. Let's take a look at an example of that. So let's simplify this expression. We have 5 plus 9 times 3 minus 4 divided by 2. To solve this problem, we will follow the rules established by PEMDAS. We can skip the parentheses and exponent steps because there are none in this expression. Step 3 is multiplication and division. All multiplication and division must be performed in order from left to right. So we multiply 9 times 3 and we divide 4 times 2. After performing these 2 mathematical equations, it'll leave us with 5 plus 27 minus 2. So moving on, our last step is we're going to perform addition and subtraction from left to right. So we've got 5 plus 27 is 32, minus 2 is 30, and that gives us our final answer for the expression. I hope that this video is helpful for you in understanding the basic operations functions on the ATI TEAS math portion of the exam. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave me a comment down below. I love to hear from you and I love answering your questions to help you become successful and to pass your ATI TEAS like a boss. Until next time, I hope that you all have a wonderful day and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye!